Hello everybody, Mr. Skinny here with an Android Netrunner cast for you, and I've got some familiar faces, very exciting. Although I can't remember the prior casts. I know that I have some saved casts that I can't air yet because it's still they're tournament games mid-tournament. But essentially, what's very cool, so we've got orangedevil, who is the current Board Game Geek World finalist. So Board Game Geek tournament is going on. It's an online tournament, and essentially, there's been a European and a North American league, and they've played, and there's been champions declared, and then now they're doing a round of the top 32 players of the world. So it's about 150 to 200 participants, and orangedevil is currently in the finals. So it's very cool to see him play. He's playing a Chaos Theory deck here. I'm not sure if it's actually. I don't think it's probably the tournament deck he's using, but it is. It is chaos. It is a Chaos Theory deck, and then tuism is playing Weyland. I've known that tuism tends to be quite he's got a very Jinteki deck. He really wants to see work consistently, but we are getting a Weyland here. So he opened with looked like he had a hostile takeover in his hand and immediately scored it, and then, wow, what turn are we on while I'm busy doing introductions? Oh dear, the window's just scrolling. Let me see, so I've been told I can do this. I still have, like, missing vertical space, which I really don't like. The table is a lot smaller than I would like. I can zoom it a tiny bit. But, yeah, Octagon's is this weird thing. I can't vertically scroll this. I can only horizontally scroll this. They'll just keep playing. Forget it. No point in me actually commentating. They'll play. I'll just like, be blabbing about UI and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see, they slowed down for 1 second so I can actually scroll this stupid thing. So, turn 1. A turn's even being declared right now? It doesn't look like turns. Something's wrong with the turn marker. Great. Great, why not? It says you haven't finished your turn. Yeah, it does. Somebody hit. Yes, I will be sad. Try, yeah, the play button. There you go. Yeah, apparently because I'm hosting, it's causing a turn problem. So, yes. See, runs. I do. Alright, so I'm going to give it to orangedevil. Or no, yes, give it to orangedevil. There we go. Oh, look at that. And seeing that. And the thing has gone down. But it's still, I still have this annoying vertical space problem. Oh well, whatever. Whatever. Technical difficulties. Nothing to see here, folks. He said, what does that do? Nothing. Alright, come on. What are we doing? So Runner put out a Armitage code busting. Looks like he had already played a Easy Mark and a Diesel. Okay, so he got stuff up into his hand. So that's that. Tuism, meanwhile, he scored his hostile takeover, and that's all he did. So now he has. So it's interesting actually. So did Chaos Theory on his first turn? He didn't even run anything. Didn't run a hand or a server. Interesting. Okay. So we got a couple of ice out onto the board, and we have a wall of static on his R&D. We have the Archer, which can now be rezzed onto the remote server. Always good to combo that early. And then we have a run on R&D, and orangedevil did put out his full rabbit hole early. So, hits a wall of static, has to end, but now he knows he needs to be getting through a barrier sooner rather than later. And then back to tuism, he mandatory draws into a green level clearance, which is the one of the newer cards, gains 3 and draws a card, and then he has the Weyland special, so he's actually getting 4 credits. Well, he's netting 3 because it does cost 1 to spend. So, you know, it's basically 3 credits and a card. Not bad at all. And he puts out another ice. We have an ice wall. And yeah, and so he's sitting on. He's got a snare and he's got a scorched earth. So some dangerous times ahead for the runner here. And so turns it over to him. He draws his first card, gets a sure gamble. He's low on credits though, so won't be able to play that. He has a couple of moddeds in his hand. but no real interesting hardware to install as the cheap hardware. You don't really want to use the modded on something cheaper than 3. So he just takes credits and pops himself up to Sure Gamble. And then back to tuism. Tuism picked up an anonymous tip and draws another anonymous tip, and then a hostile takeover and an enigma. So this deck, Solar LOL, he's certainly it's quite a multicolored deck, that's for sure. At this point, got everything neutrals, 2 different factions in the hand alone. So we have another ice out on the first remote. So we've got Enigma, Ice Wall. So a couple of easy ices alongside the Archer. And then he puts the Hostile Takeover into his... I just saw a Hostile Takeover game recently, and it's... what can I say? I mean, you need a 1-point agenda to be able to res those Archers, but... Man, those bad publicities really add up for the runner, I think. And especially a runner like Kate, or Chaos Theory, or whatever, like either one of them, they don't tend to have a lot of money. They're not like always rolling in money like a Gabe would be. So, I don't know. Well, tis what it is. I have not seen enough games to really see the effects either way. But we have Orange Devil pops out his special order to grab himself the battering ram, and then he pays to put that out with a modded. So he's still sitting on 10 credits. Yeah. So he has a barrier breaker. So he doesn't actually know what he's going to be hitting in this remote, though. He could, which is very dangerous. Wow, so he's got 1 click left. I guess he figures if he's going to get 1 tag, he can always remove that. So he hits the code gate and has to stop. First dice he hits. So we've got a nice... This is a fully... I don't know what you want to call it, multi-talented server that's protected here. It's got all 3 ice types, so you need a full rig to start cracking it. I still have my notice up, by the way. That is probably a permanent fixture. It seems to have helped. I feel like I'm not saying unless I'm just completely missing it. So... we get Hostile Takeover is scored, and then what did he do with his last credit? Or his last click. He just installed another card, so he installed a card onto R&D. Oh, I think that was... No, okay. It's Caduceus. So, Orange Devil then draws up a whole bunch of cards, finds himself an Infiltrate and another modded, so all 3 moddeds are out at this point. So that's part of his economy help, and he gets a pawn shop out as well. A friend recently said to me actually about how like pawn shop can go goodbye with the Underworld contacts now, because they basically give you 1 credit at the start of your turn for having 2 link or more, and if you get 3 of them out, it's 3 credits a turn. It's like having a pad campaign that is a whole lot harder to trash. So yeah, I can see why one might be happy to ditch another economy card for those. So, what did I miss? Orange Devil picks up... What did tuism do with his turn? He took more cards from Anonymous Tip. He found an SEA source. Very interesting. So he's got a Scorched Earth and a source. So we'll see what that does for Orange Devil, who has 2 clicks left, but he ran his way into the Project Atlas. So, oh no, he's infiltrated Project Atlas, so he knows what's there. He knows it's something he has to go. He knows he has to go in, so he tinkers the Enigma, and so he can break through that with his battering ram, which is great because that also retains its strength throughout the entire run. So he's through that. Now he hits a barrier, so that's just a lousy. So he doesn't pay 2 credits to break the 1 subroutine, which never feels nice. But now he's going to hit that Archer. Does he have the money to deal with it? He doesn't have a Sentry Breaker. So, yeah. So the battering ram gets trashed. Corp gains 2 credits and the run is ended. So it was a good attempt. He had to go for it. I guess he was assuming that it wasn't. It's interesting, actually. He was assuming there was no Sentry, given that Weyland's most of Weyland's ice is Sentry. But But, you know, even if it was a sentry, he was hoping for it not to be an archer. The thing with anything other than the archer, most of the sentries don't end the run, I believe. There are a lot of taggy types of cards, but not a lot of actual end runs on sentries. So I can see why you would have taken that risk. And so Orange then... That was his actual last click when he ran that remote as well. Wow. So very dangerous. He could have ended up with a tag on it. So tuism advances this twice. What was that? That was another Project Atlas. So he advanced it. Well, it was the Project Atlas he'd always put in there. So he advances it twice, and then he plays Beanstalk Royalties. Interesting. So he's going for the risk that there will not be a break next turn from Orange Devil. And he's right. Orange Devil takes 2 cards and then uses Short Gamble, takes even more money off for his Armitage. So a good play there by tuism. Now can advance over its difficulty level and have the special ability of going to his R&D for anything he wants. I'm very excited to see what he uses this for, because I haven't actually seen it used. Funnily enough, in the a recent game I watched, there was one counter on Project Atlas and it never got used. You know, do you do it to go reach? What does the Corp really need? Runners, it always makes sense. They really need a certain icebreaker, or they really need an economy or something, right? But or they need link, or they need memory. But what does a Corp need at a specific point? That's the interesting thing. Other than maybe they've got a highly protected server, the runner is no money, they want to go grab an agenda. But they've revealed it's an agenda at that point, so they do lose out on that element of surprise. So, Orange Devil, I believe, managed to got a Diesel. No, he just drew up a bunch of cards and found a Code Gate Icebreaker. So he goes in and installs that with the modded. And back to tuism, he managed to redraws into another Scorched Earth. It's funny, he probably had the trace opportunity, although he hasn't. The only way SEA Source is useful is if you have more money than the runner, and that's really the problem I've often found with it. Is it's like, ooh, I could tag and scorch, or I can tag and drain their credits, all these things I could do, but I can't get this trace off because I not only do I need the runner to have made a good run, he also needs to have less money than me, and runners who are making runs on you typically have money. So we'll see. So tuism just installs a card, receives 2 credits. I think he installed yet another Project Atlas. He did. And so Orange he puts out a Cyber Feeder. He drew a couple more cards. So he has a Makers. And he has another Infiltrate. And he has a Stim Hack. So Stim Hack will probably get him through almost... Well, I mean, he still needs the Icebreakers he needs. That's the real problem. So we've got another advanced card. So we are up to 5 points to 0 for tuism. So... this Weyland deck is really paying off. Back to Orange Devil here. So our champion, who I would call the front runner, is in trouble. Let's see if he can pull it back out. He mods out a Ninja, so his rig is almost back to full speed. He's got a Sentry and Code Gate Breaker. Just needs to worry about barriers at this point. And then... I think just takes more money, hands it over. So very, very scary. Oh, another... Hostile Takeover comes out, so 6 points, but what we do know is that there is no more 1-pointers, at least Hostile Takeover wise. There could be other 1-pointers in there. There are other neutral 1-pointers, and there are other Weyland 1-pointers, the posted bounty. So, he could be a agenda in hand from victory. Orange just goes ahead and draws up a couple more cards. Sorry, I haven't got to see that. I mean, he's obviously looking for that barrier breaker. And then installs battering ram. So he did find his barrier breaker, and then he gets an easy mark. So now no server is safe. So yeah, tuism says this is interesting. I mean, Orange Devil, wow, talk about fast. I mean, after hitting an archer and crashing out through, like losing those programs, he's right back in it with a fully loaded rig, 2 link. I mean, this is a strong runner right here, and so he's sitting on 19 credits as well. So tuism, did he run out of steam? He's got 6 points, and it's going to be very tough. if he doesn't have any more one-point agendas, it's going to be very tough to hold, right? So interesting. But Orangedevil has a long hill to climb. He's got 0 points. So, yeah, anybody's game. Definitely is anybody's game. So, Orange draws up a couple cards. He's found himself another stim hack. Plays his sure gamble. So, he's loading up on credits, getting himself ready. Tuism, meanwhile, what did he actually do with his turn? He just took the credits. So, will he use... I really want to know, will he use his Atlas cards? That's the question. What card does he want? That's where it all comes down to for me. But meanwhile, Orange is just going to pressure R&D while he waits for something to show up in the remote, I'm guessing. So Orange doesn't break. He takes the traces. Why not? He's got 2 link, and he has more credits than the runner. So doesn't boost it. Oh no, he loses the trace because does he have 3 link? Oh, he has 3 link, of course, because Kate has 1 link. So, yeah, Corp won't get any free credits there, and then the next one's to end the run. I mean, the Corp's at a -1 on the trace, so he's not going to spend any credits to. So it's just Caduceus is basically useless. Then we got this barrier, so that's just going to cost 2 credits. It's free. Bad publicity is sending him in for free, so he's free into R&D every turn at this point with these 2 now useless ice. And he Maker's Eyed in, so 3 cards, gets to him and hits the big 3-point agenda. Hits 2 agendas, so there's 4 points. So, suddenly from 0, we're now at 6-4 game, and like I said, tuism is not in any kind of protected shape at this point. You've got a fully loaded rig up. Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting seeing how quickly the game can turn, and how Weyland can go from being like a strongly protected company to now. I mean, it's scrambling. It needs to protect it. He needs to protect his R&D desperately. And what has he got? He's got the Archer. Okay, he found an Archer. I mean, even that though is breakable for 10 credits, which the runner has, but. Interesting. Before access, let me reduce my chances. So, tuism says his HQ is wide open. I think he's pretending that he's loaded up with 4 points of survival. You got an Archer. Yeah, I mean they're basically talking to each other, saying, who's in the lead, who's gonna win, and I mean it really is. This is kind of like a 1-turn game in it. Like any turn could be the end of the game here. And so it really does make every click, even more important at this point. What does tuism do with it? And so he puts out his Archer, and Orange is, we know Orange knows he has the Archer, and he reminds him he knows about it, because it's interesting he leaves these. Why even leave these cards out? I mean, they're free to get through. Even this barrier is free to get through. I mean, I mean, it's 3 credits to get through, but bad. Yeah, so I mean, that's fine. I mean. That's fine, might as well leave it out. It only costs him 1 credit to install on top of it. So he puts out his Archer and takes and loses that 1 credit. So we'll probably be killing, obviously, the hostile takeover, one of them to res the Archer. Orangedevil can get through. I mean, it's only 10 credits to get through. So while he has the money, why not? Maybe he might be waiting to see if to get another Maker's Eye to do it. We'll see. So he puts out another Cyber Feeder, and then runs R&D. Yeah, it doesn't have the Maker's Eye, but I think even at this point he's got quite a lot of money. Doesn't have a huge amount of ways to make money, but he has these stim hacks, and since we're coming close to end game here, why not just use the stim hacks to get in? So 3 bad publicity, terrible. I love that he's like, oh, I have so much bad publicity. Yeah, well, it's your own fault. Stop taking over companies. So, res his Archer. 10 credits to get through for that. Of which he has 2 for free off Cyber Feeder, 3 off of Bad Publicity. So it's only 5 actual credits out of his bank. And then it'll just be another 3 credits to get through Wall of Static. So actual out of bank is, what was that, about 8 credits to get through to R&D. He didn't do a Maker's Eye on it. That's the only saving grace for tuism here. So 8 credits to get into R&D for a single card, but 1 card could do it. I mean, we know that the high pointers are left in the deck at this point. I mean, there's no high pointers out other than that first government contract. So Yeah, he says, do you want an Atlas? That's... Oh, no. Wow. Hits it. Yeah, it was a good point asking about the Atlas. I didn't think about that. Trying to swipe the cards out of HQ before R&D access occurs. So anyway, just good game to the players. I'm going to end this video, but I mean, if they play again, I'm definitely going to run it. So let me end it quickly here. Please remember, subscribe to me if you like these videos. Follow me on ANRcasts on Twitter or on Facebook. Facebook.com tag Mr. Skinny. Facebook.com tag Mr. Skinny. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you next time.